Hello everyone, my name is Darius Graham, and for my discussion board I'll be discussing Signorelli 2.0, Chapter 9, Essays 3 and 4. On the first slide of my PowerPoint, we're going to be talking about the brand's inner layer. Another way to think of a brand's inner layer is to think of it as the brand soul. So the soul houses all your core beliefs, your values, anything you trust or believe in. That's what pretty much houses your soul, and that's what houses a brand's inner layer. A brand inner layer is not necessarily its mission statement. A mission statement provides the rational purpose of the brand. The brand's unique value is what drives that purpose. So the mission statement may be like the outer layer of the brand, but the inside and the soul of the brand drives that purpose that you're presenting outside. A quote from the text is, once you think of a brand as a belief system, you automatically get all the things that enterprise spend billions of dollars trying to obtain: trust, relevance, vision, values, and leadership. That quote is by Patrick Hanlon. I think it's an amazing quote. I think that it speaks a lot of volumes and truth, because once you trust a brand and you believe in the same values or whatever, you're more likely to purchase things from that brand and look more into it and believe the things that brand stands for. On the next slide, we're talking about the unique value propositions of a brand. A UVP sharply and authentically states the unique belief that a brand should be / can be associated with. When you think of that, that means the brand has to be unique. So the unique value proposition has to be unique. It has to be trustworthy. It has to be something that you can believe in. Because as consumers, we shop and we purchase things emotionally. If we believe in a brand, or we trust that brand, or we trust anything about that brand, we're more likely to purchase that brand and purchase things that come along with the brand. On the next slide, it's talking about where do our motivations come from. So underneath every motivation is a value or belief in some idea that is important. That's basically saying that anything you're motivated by, you have some sort of value you stand on, something that keeps you motivated while you're trying to achieve that motivation. So the thing that kept me motivated for a long time was wanting to graduate school, because it was something I knew that my mother always wanted me to do. So that's the thing that just kept me motivated and kept basically my personal brand going throughout these years. Shared values are a lot of the foundations of a lot of different things, like government, religion, cultures, marriages. I think you have to share values in order to come together as people when you dealing with any kind of thing. When you share values, it makes you more comfortable. It makes you more willing to want to work with someone, or work in and outside with that person, or with anything they have. Another quote from the text is, man is what he believes. So, and I believe that quote too, because anything that you believe, you kind of represent that on the outside. So if you have strong religious base, you kind of like, you want to preach the word to a lot of people. You want to give a lot of people a lot of spiritual background about yourself, and try to pass it on to other people. So basically anything you believe, you try to pass it on, and you basically wear it on the outside for yourself. Next slide is talking about the anatomy of a brand hero. So basically every story has a hero. Heroes are usually the people who we can relate the most. The people who we can relate to the most in the story. The hero can have some sort of special powers. They can they share the same values as you do as well. All heroes have attributes and capabilities that allow them to accomplish both mental and physical feats. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Our connection to the hero grabs us unconsciously. We can relate to their motivation by similar motivations in our own lives. So one of my favorite movies, I like a lot of superhero movies and stuff, with like Transformers and all that stuff like that. And you can always relate to the good guys in the movies, because everyone wants to be the good guy. Everyone wants to be rescuing everybody and rescuing the people in the story and stuff like that. And so that's why it cultivates us and keeps us like watching and keeps us wanting to continue to watch those series and that show, because we want to see the struggles that the hero has to go through in order to get to the end goal. We relate to brands the same way as we relate to heroes and stories and stuff like that. We always want to know how that brand got started, what the owner or CEO had to go through in order to get his brand off the ground, and that's what intrigues us, to keep looking into the brand. Like I said before, wanting to purchase things from the brand, and also helps us to be able to trust the brand. And once you trust something, and that thing has your trust, you're more willing to be openly purchasing that thing or that brand over there. In the next slide, we're moving on to Essay 3, and in the back of the book. And Essay 3 says, storytellers define their themes before developing their plots. So before a storyteller develops a story, he or she either consciously or unconsciously decides the story's reason for being or the point that needs to be made. So when you're telling a story, you don't necessarily just tell a story just to be telling a story. That story has to have some type of theme, some type of plot, some sort of reasoning behind telling that story. If the story doesn't have the reasoning or the plot or the theme, it almost becomes a boring story and no one wants to listen to it or wants to look into it or anything. Brands often put plots before things, basically saying brand meanings are often made up of well-recognized product features and unique functional benefits. So an example of a brand that has a unique functional benefit is Burger King. Burger King is known for the flame broiled burgers, and that's basically what it stood on all these years. So a lot of people go to Burger King, it's the same thing as McDonald's, but they have that unique thing, that flame broiled burger. So a lot of people go there just to purchase that flame broiled burger. Now Burger King is kind of fading away because a lot of people, you have a lot of burger joints that do the same thing nowadays, and something new, people want to try something new, something different, and Burger King's been around for a while, so they got to come up with something new and more intriguing to keep their audience and their same consumers. Essay 4 says, storytellers don't use focus groups to decide what their point of view is. Storytellers don't manufacture meaning on the basis of what will sell to the greatest number of people. They start with an authentically held core belief that needs expression. So basically, people don't tell stories just to get a huge crowd around them or project certain things to people in order to get them to buy stuff. You tell stories, to basically state your truth and state your beliefs, and hopefully people buy into it. And that's the best way to get a story out to you, and to get a story out to people, and to get people to trust you. The question that I want to present at the end of this presentation is, which brand can you relate to, and why can you relate to that brand? Is it trustworthy? Does it, intrigue you to keep buying it? What is the one thing that keeps you intrigued by this certain brand? Thank you.